The way Shikamaru is continuing to help Boruto and is even breaking regulations by asking Ino Yamanaka to set up secret telepathic communications with him and Boruto using the Yamanaka Jutsu is going to end up putting Shikamaru and Ino at opposing sides and might even lead to an eventual civil war within Konoha. The stark difference between how Shikamaru and Ino are being affected by omnipotence, with how Shikamaru is choosing to fight the effects of the jutsu, and how Ino Yamanaka chooses to do nothing about it even though she was listening to Boruto and Shikamaru's entire conversation when Shikamaru speculated that Boruto is actually Boruto Uzumaki, is what is going to slowly cause Ino and Shikamaru's friendship to become unstable. Based on what we saw in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 14, Ino Yamanaka is not entirely on board with helping Shikamaru, who is helping Boruto navigate his situation with the village. And it is only a matter of time before she turns on Shikamaru and she reports him to the Feudal Lords. Or she reports him to those two elders that kept on telling Shikamaru that he is running out of time and that he has to officially assume the position of the 8th Hokage, since he is currently the acting Hokage and hasn't yet officially accepted the position. The last thing Shikamaru wants is for Ino to report him to the Feudal Lords or to the elders. It is going to turn out bad for him if Ino decides to report Shikamaru. The first thing they're going to do is arrest him for being a traitor and also for helping a fugitive like Boruto. The second thing they're going to do is use Ibiki's abilities or the Yamanaka Jutsu to see into his memories and determine whether or not he is under some sort of genjutsu or Boruto has him under some sort of mind control. Once they gather all the information that Shikamaru has about Boruto and they know everything that was said in Shikamaru and Boruto's conversations, the only thing left to do is to execute Shikamaru for working with the traitor that murdered the 7th Hokage or took him away. Shikamaru's imminent execution is going to destabilize the village. There's going to be a faction of the village that is against his execution. That faction is most likely going to be made up of Sarada, Sumire, Konohamaru and possibly Temari and his son Shikadai. The faction that is going to be in support of his execution is probably going to be Kawaki, the two elders, and Ikkyo Madoka, the current feudal lord of the Land of Fire. For those of you that have forgotten about Ikkyo Madoka, he is the father of Tento Madoka and he is a man that has a lot of respect for Naruto Uzumaki, mainly because of who Naruto is and what Naruto's son did for Tento Madoka. Tento Madoka was always inspired by ninja and wanted to become a shinobi, the kind of shinobi that was going to protect his father by serving as one of the feudal lord's personal detail, an elite jonin that is at the level of the Yambu. Tento Madoka used to be a spoiled and annoying kid that never worked hard for anything that he wanted until he met Boruto. Boruto told him about how he used to be in the same position and that he learned an important lesson that taught him that being a shinobi is about hard work and perseverance. Boruto taught the same lesson to Tento and Tento decided he is going to dedicate himself to becoming a shinobi that his father can be proud of, especially after seeing Boruto and his team use their shinobi skills to save him when he was taken by Shojoji. So the feudal lord was forever grateful to Naruto for what he did for the ninja world and for Konoha, and to Boruto for what he did for Tento. So the feudal lord Ikkyo Madoka and his son Tento being involved in the story is going to make things far more interesting. More especially because it is going to be at the premise of an impending civil war within Konoha. Not to mention that Tento hasn't seen Boruto ever since the time that they rescued him from Shojoji. And because of omnipotence, Tento is going to believe that Boruto is Kawaki and Kawaki has never seen Tento before. So the conversation between the two of them is going to be very interesting and it is going to add to the stakes of what is happening in the story, serving as the motivation for Kawaki to make sure that Shikamaru is executed. Searching Shikamaru's mind is obviously going to expose the bit of information that speculates that Kawaki is a fraud and also that Kawaki has Naruto and Hinata sealed away in the Daikokuten, the most important bit of information that Kawaki needs to make sure is never discovered. If the village were to discover that Boruto was telling the truth that Naruto and Hinata are somewhere safe and he never did anything to them, it's going to be over for Kawaki. The lie that he created with the help of Ada is slowly going to implode and the village is going to lose trust in him. If you are assuming that nothing is going to happen to him because of omnipotence, then you are heavily mistaken. The villagers are only going to forget the details that are linked to the omnipotence jutsu. They won't forget the details that have nothing to do with omnipotence. So they might forget that Kawaki is not the son of Naruto, but they won't forget that Kawaki has him sealed away in the Daikokuten. So they are going to start to question why Kawaki sealed away his parents and kept it a secret, then continued on to lie that Boruto murdered them. Similar to how Shikamaru can still remember every bit of the conversations that he had with Boruto, but isn't able to remember why he wanted to help Boruto, or what caused Boruto to be in Kawaki's position. As for Konohamaru Sarutobi, the reason he's going to side with Shikamaru, Sarada and Sumire is mainly because he used to be a part of Team 7. He was also close to Boruto while Boruto was growing up. He might have noticed that Kawaki is acting out of character and that he is nothing like how Boruto is or how Boruto used to be. Not to mention, he even saw Boruto fighting for the village and even protecting Himawari and Sarada. Even though he has suspicions that Shikamaru is the one that let Boruto escape, he is not going to overlook the fact that Kawaki was the one that had Naruto and Hinata in his possession and lied about Boruto murdering them. Naruto is the person that Konohamaru looks up to the most. So Kawaki's actions are going to make him side with Boruto and Shikamaru to determine the true identity of Boruto. So Shikamaru's execution and the pursuit to prevent it from happening, the involvement of the feudal lords in the matter, and Kawaki pushing for the execution of Shikamaru to stop the truth about what he did to Naruto and Hinata getting exposed, is all going to lead to major destabilization and internal conflict within Konoha, thus leading to a civil war within Konoha and possibly being the main reason why the village ended up destroyed in the time skip scene, with Kawaki being at the center of the destruction. So let me know what y'all think about the possible civil war that could happen within Konoha. Do y'all think Shikamaru is going to be exposed for working with Boruto, or Kawaki will be exposed for sealing away Naruto and Hinata in the Daikoku-ten dimension? Subscribe to the channel for more Boruto content, and check out this video that explains how Shikamaru and Amaru exposed their new major weakness with omnipotence.